friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today we will be talking about the books that I read in October of 2024. Let's get into it. Okay, as always, let's start with the library books that I don't currently have with me, which would be these books here that you see. Let's start with The Eyes Are the Best Part. This was a book I read in one sitting on an airplane and on my way to a business trip earlier beginning of the month, and it was the best book to kick off the spooky read time of year. It's so gruesome, it's so creepy, it's the perfect book for like creepy psychological like it just gives you the ick. This book is so intense. It's a really quick read and I really enjoyed it, actually a lot more than I thought that I would, which makes me a little disturbed to say, but overall I think it's a really good book for like the spooky time of year. So if you haven't picked it up yet, definitely would recommend doing so. Another one that I picked up that I wasn't as big of a fan of from the library is Haunt Sweet Home. This one was fine. It's a novella. It's pretty short. I wasn't like the biggest fan of it, but I read it in a couple of sittings, and again, more so for the spooky season time of year. It's fine. Like genuinely, it's kind of fine. It's pretty predictable overall, and I wasn't, again, the hugest fan of it, but it's entertaining nonetheless. Last one I read for the month that I don't actually physically have with me was The Deep by River Solomon. This book was very interesting. I'd heard a lot about this one from Books and Lala. I know this one was a popular one a couple years ago. I think this one was just a little too over my head, to be honest. The writing is very lyrical. It's very metaphoric. Overall, it was good. I liked the way that it ended. I think it brought a lot of things together. I think I was just very confused by the use of pronouns and who really we were connecting with and who was the main character at the moment in certain parts of the book. It just was really hard to kind of follow at certain aspects of it, and I was listening to the audiobook, which you'd think would have helped but kind of didn't. Regardless, I did enjoy it. I just don't think it was like my favorite overall for the month, but I know a lot of people really loved it, so be sure to check it out if you are interested. Okay, now let's jump into all of these ones. So another novel that I read for the month that I finally got around to was reading Sky's End. This is by Mark J. Gregson. This book I picked up purely for the fact of the TikTok that went viral about beginning of last year, I think, for this author. His wife posted him reacting to his cover reveal of this book, and it went viral. It blew up, and so I had to pick this up to support him. It's fine. Unfortunately, it wasn't my favorite book I read this month. I did enjoy it. It's pretty entertaining. It's definitely a very action-packed kind of space opera type of book. I really enjoyed it. The language in here, though, I will say was not my favorite. Like the amount of times, oh my gosh, what was it? Because I bet you I could open up to a page and it was like on almost every other page. Oh, what was it? There was a book, I don't know, just the like eat turds, Roderick. Like, it's just the way that I don't even know. There was a phrase that was in this book that I feel like was used so much that I couldn't even begin to tell you like how many times it was in it. It was so like, oh, bird shit. I think it was, sorry, pardon my French, I think it was bird shit was used an obscene amount of times in this book. If it wasn't, I'll figure it out and maybe put it down in the comments below. But yeah, a certain phrase was used so exceedingly much in this that I kind of got annoyed, and just the language got to become really repetitive. Overall, it's good. I think for more of a YA middle grade audience, this I think would be a really fun read. But yeah, overall, not my favorite, but I might continue in the series. We'll see. Okay, that aside, let's talk about some graphic novels. So I finally got my hands on the second book in the Wingbear saga. This was a book that came out a couple years ago, and I've been waiting for the sequel to continue in the series of it. I love this. I'm really sad because they changed who the artist was for this one. The art is still great in the second book, but I loved the way this one, or the art looked in this version of it, the way they inked it, however they did it. This one was just really well done. This one, again, was done too well, very well, but it's a little bit more of like a drawing style, where this looks more of like a painted style. I can't really explain it other than that, but overall, really good. I really enjoy this series. I hope it continues. I love it quite a lot. It's really good. And yeah, it's basically just for this one about a girl named Zuli who basically is trying to find her family, is essentially in essence the core of this. And this basically is about a world where there's magic and different aspects of it, and someone's trying to take over, and it's very interesting and I like it a lot. So if you need a new graphic novel series to get into, highly recommend this one. Okay, for my other one that I finally got to check off my list, this is The Librarian of Auschwitz. This is by, based on the novel by Antonio Iturbi. I'm probably totally butchering that. This is a novel that I've been trying to read for forever, so I finally got to read the graphic novel version of it. I thought it was really good. It's very poignant. It's very heart-wrenching. It's very sad in certain aspects of it. But yeah, overall, since I haven't read the book, I can't really speak to what kind of representation it gives the original novel or the original story. But yeah, overall, I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was really well done. The art in it is beautiful. You guys can see. Beautiful. And yeah, I love a graphic novel, especially historical graphic novels are very interesting to me lately, so I enjoyed this one quite a lot. So again, if you need a good graphic novel, definitely pick this one up as well. All right, and two more novels that I read in the month of October. One was a nonfiction. This is when I finally got around to finishing The Book of Hope by Jane Goodall and Gail Hudson with, Douglas Abrams. This was a really good book. It was very uplifting. I think it would have been more poignant to read this around 2020 when this originally came out. I think it came out in 2021 because it touches on a lot of things with COVID and dealing with the pandemic and different things like that. But yeah, overall it's a really kind of good, feel-good type of story. It's a lot of like conversation between her and Douglas. I'm obsessed with Jane Goodall, so anything that she writes I'm really interested in reading. But yeah, overall this one just gives a message of hope, and it's pretty straightforward. Some of it's a little redundant, but overall I had a good time reading it, and it's a pretty quick read as well. All right, and the last thing that I read, which I think was my favorite thing I read for this month, other than the Wingbearer trilogy, or oh my gosh, graphic novels, why can't I talk right now? It's been a long day, was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This took me a minute to get into, but when I did, oh, it's so good. Like, I finally get the hype that surrounds this book series. Like, I'm so excited to read the second one. I think the love just aspect of the enemies to lovers, of just like what they both, I enjoy it so much. I'm very interested to see where the second one goes. There's aspects of this I wasn't 100% totally in love with. Like the magic system for me is a little interesting. Just the war aspect. It felt very World War II meets like magic, Greek mythology type of vibe. It was very interesting. So it was hard for me sometimes when the magic aspects would come in to like disconnect myself from the reality of the circumstances and be like, oh yeah, we're in a world with magic. We're not in normal world. So yeah, that part was really interesting. The gods are very interesting. I'm really interested to learn more about them in the second book. And I just also love this edition. It's so pretty. But I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I'm excited to read the second one. And yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below what videos you guys want to see from me next, what books you enjoyed this last month, what books you're looking forward to reading. Just let me know what's going on in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to see more of my face, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!